You know those times where you don't really want to deal with reality. You just want to avoid, escape, and binge. When I used to binge a lot with pleasure, I'd always notice this one thing happening. And it would really annoy me because it would make everything harder. That thing is that I saw my ego would always come out before, during, and after pleasure binging. You want to get your fix. But, before, there's people in the way. There's things in the way. You got to get logistics right. During, you can't have anyone interrupting. No, man. You got your blinders up. You're just trying to, binge yourself into oblivion. And then, of course, we've got the aftermath. How you are after the pleasure fix, the pleasure binge. I've written down a couple of words here because I wanted to get, be really accurate. Sour, impatient, escapist, hungover. What you want to notice is that what is this language pointing to? It's pointing to a person who's glum as a motherfucker. You're just way more sullen and gloomy and resentful. You don't have that beautiful ojas and that joy and that spark to be nice to people, right? People, and I'll be, really honest, when you're in this state, people can go fuck themselves, right? Because that's what selfishness does to you. Selfishness takes over you almost like a mind virus. And by the way, you should know, I was this person for so many years with various substances, PMO, alcohol, weed, just to name a few. Now, you don't really have it with weed. You're not really quite hungover. You might feel a bit brain foggy. You might feel a bit hazy, less sharp, maybe even a bit paranoid or something. But with pornography or with sugar, reality, how it appears to you, is way more sour. You feel sour. I say reality because that's what you are projecting out. Because you feel sour, the world seems sour. It doesn't feel like how it feels when maybe you're on retention or something, when the world seems kind of really juicy and really exciting. Instead, it's a lot more gloomy, it's a lot more depressing. There's no rainbows anywhere. Another thing I'd point out is that you're just way less friendly, way less sociable, way less approachable. And this is, we could say, because you've depleted yourself. And here's the thing, you want to notice that you don't really like this version of yourself. You don't really like who you become. Maybe, just maybe, you're getting fed up of your ego coming out like this. You might actually think to yourself, I don't want to live like this. I don't want to live in this hungover state where I can't really be, loving to people, let alone just a decent person. So what I would suggest is you want to get tired of this. You want to get bored of it. You want to get fed up of being this way. This is how I was. I just became so freaking fatigued with this version of myself that kept coming out after pornography usage or sugar usage or other stuff that made me just less conscious. Because that's the thing really, this video here, it was talking about how your ego will come out, it will resurface after you, basically indulge and give yourself sort of too much of this false love. You sort of try to avoid reality as opposed to merging with reality. And so we could say the core truth here is that you don't want this ego in your way. You want to be conscious. You want to be a conscious person. Not just sometimes, here and there, after meditation, after the meditation class. No. You want to be a conscious person, not just excess conscious states, right? And what this will mean for you, oh man, it will probably piss you off. Why? Because it will mean you have to give up stuff. Do you know how much I used to love pornography? I used to crave it because I knew as a sort of addict that was a safe, reliable, and effective way to get my fix. That was a guaranteed high. But when you start doing this work and you're like, okay, fine, I'll consider giving some things up, I'll consider stopping some things, you realize, oh, for fuck's sake, I'm going to have to give up this huge thing that I love. I'm going to have to give up the biggest, juiciest, most pleasurable, most orgasmic thing because that's the thing that will make you depleted. That's the thing that makes you depressed. So what do you do practically speaking? Here's what I would recommend. Contemplate, contemplate, contemplate. Reflect, reflect, reflect. Why? It's so you can give yourself a moment of realization, a wake-up call, an insight, a aha moment. It's where you realize, oh man, I've got to do this. I've got to change. We're going to wrap things up there. Remember, this is coming from someone who has a very deep past inner addict, someone who spent a lot of their time binging with pornography and other things. So I get you. I know how it is. That's going to be it for me, my friend. Lots of love. Take care. And as always, peace.